am convinced, Artinvaders, that you have seen it already. It's everywhere. The Y2K Futuristic CD cover trend on social media. The artist's Hood Is and Apricot are the best example on the Chrome Type Insta page. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a jaw-dropping design ready for use as album art, posters, or digital showcases.
The 3D objects.
Find the code in the video and get project files. Be quick, Artinvaders. The files are only freely available for 24 hours after the video release. Right, let's start with the tutorial. First, we delete the light and the camera with the X key. And we start with the iconic CD case. For this, we use the already created cube. Select it and change the scale value to 0.2 in X. Use also the axis cross to get the perfect front view. And now we bevel the edges. For this, we need the bevel deformer. The values are right. And apply it to the 3D object. We will switch a lot of between the object and edit mode. And to do it, we have to use the tab key because it's faster. So all time when I say tab, we switch between edit and object mode. Now we are in the edit mode and create some cuts. Take the loop cut, create a cut in this direction, use this window here on the ground and select 4 cuts. Alright, go now here on the top, select the area selection, press the X key and delete the faces. Tab. In the next step, we will create thickness in our 3D object. We need for this the solidify modifier. Here we need a value of 0.025. And as you can see, it works. And put also a check mark under even thickness. We can also apply it directly to our 3D object. And in the next step, we will create the holes in the CD case. For this, we need some cubes. Change the scale values. These are my scale values. Perfect. In the next step, we will duplicate it with the array modifier. We need a count of 11. And we change Z to see them. And we want some rotation. We need -40 in X. And as you can see, it don't work. So make the modifier invisible. Remember, if it don't work, you have to apply first the location, rotation, or the scale. So press Command A and apply the rotation in this case. Make the modifier visible again, and now it works. So now we select the value of 0.9 in Z. And we get the perfect cubes. Bring it to the right position and copy and paste it for the other side. To create now the holes, we need the Boolean modifier. You can find it here. If you don't have it, go under Edit, Preferences, search for bool. Put a check mark under the add-on and refresh it. Then you will find it also here in the window. Select this CD case and insert the Boolean tool. We need it twice. Put first the first cube line in it, and then the second one, and make it invisible. And now we have our holes. Perfect. In the next step, we will create our text. Go under Add, select text, rotate it by 90 degrees in Y, and to edit it, we have to go to the edit mode. So, tab, and write the term of your choice, and press again tab, go back to the object mode. Okay, I choose disease, like the new song from Lady Gaga, and under this tag, we can change now our font. So first, we change the size. I use 0.36, and we also extrude it by 0.02. And now we have also thickness and we bevel it. Go under profile and we choose Cornice modeling as preset. Change depth to 0.01 and we need also a resolution of 32. And as you can see, we have now really cool edges of the font. Next step, we change in general the font. You can insert any font you want. Press the folder icon. Download a font file in the internet. I use Xenosphere. It's a free font. I will link you the font in the caption and apply it. Perfect. Here we also change the character spacing to 1.1. And we start now to duplicate the font. For this, we will use the mirror modifier. You can find it here. And apply our CD case as orientation object with the pipette tool. And as you can see, it gets perfectly generated on the other side. But if we press also Y, it goes in the right direction. So we have now apply the modifier, convert now the text to mesh, and we set the origin to center of mass. Now we can copy and paste it, bring it to the other side, rotate it in Y by -90 and Z by 180 degrees. Perfect. Alright, now we create a new collection. This collection we rename to CD case to get a better overview. And the new collection name is CD. And as the name say, we will create now the CD. For this, we need a cylinder. And to transform it, we use the window here on the ground. We need 100 in vertices, radius 0.9, and depth 0.01. And we also rotate it in Y by 90 degrees. And now we have our CD. Rename it to CD, copy and paste it, rename it to print. On this disk, we will later on generate the print. Here we go under the transform window and change the scale to 0.97 in all axes and bring it a little bit more in the front to see it. Perfect. Now we select print. Copy and paste it, select it and rename it to middle. Here we change the scale values to 0.35 in X and Y and also to 1.3 in Z. Put it a little bit more in the front. Select now middle, copy and paste it and rename it to holder. Here we change also the scale values to 0.15 in X and Y. And Z we need 35. So it have to look like this. Perfect. Okay, select now CD, go under the material tag, create a new material, rename the material to CD. Go also to the middle part, select here also the CD material. And we also create for print a separate new material, rename it to print. And now we select print, middle and CD and we join the whole object. Alright, all things are still visible. Because it's one object now, you can see it in the front view, but it still exists. Alright, now we select the holder. The reason why we join everything is that we can use the bool tool. So select for the CD the boolean tool and insert the holder here inside and make the holder invisible to get the typical CD hole. Perfect. So in the last step, we will create here also the space between of the CD case. For this, we need a new cube. We also change the scale value in X to 0.15. And we also change the scale to 0.95 in Y and Z. And here we also use the bevel tool. The values are right and apply it to the 3D object. Put it now also in the other group and make it invisible first. Alright, in the next step we will create the details inside of our CD case. Create a new collection, rename it to details. And we start with a cube. Here we change also the scale values. These are my scale values. And now bring it to the side, hit tab to edit it, because we will later on transform it with the bevel deformer. Select loop cut, put one cut inside and select 80 cuts. Perfect. Tab. Now we use more cubes. Change here also the scale value. These are my values and bring it to the side. Now bring it to the right position and copy and paste it. And you can hold shift to bring it better to a new position. Copy and paste it. Perfect. Select now all cubes. Press with the right mouse button on it and join it. Select now the main cube and we use again the boolean tool. Apply the cubes and make it invisible. Perfect. And we directly apply the boolean tool and we can delete old cubes. Now select the object 0y out, that it's perfect centered back in our scene. And to bevel it perfectly, it's sometimes not so easy. Remember, you have to use always an empty. So we select an empty sphere. Now we can select the cube line and we use simple deform. We need the bend deformer. Bend it by 180 degrees and under origin select the empty to get this perfect result. It's sometimes easier as you think. Alright, that looks perfect. Now we convert it to a mesh and the modifier get automatically applied. Now press Command A to apply the scale Now it's everything one, and now we can rescale it to the whole size. So that looks good. And here you can also delete the empty, select our new object, and we use again the mirror tool. Here we need again the CD case as orientation point and change the Y to duplicate it. Now you can change also the position until it fits. Perfect. Right. Now we have also an important step. I did the project before. The thing is that when we work with glass and we have two overlapping objects, Blender don't recognize the matching points, and there where the connection points are, there will be created black holes. So now we apply the mirror modifier, and to achieve this problem later on, we have to use the remesh tool so that we get one single object and Blender recognize, okay, it's one object remeshed and we don't have the issues later on. Choose a voxel size that fits. That looks good. Apply the effect, and later on we will don't have any problems in the material part. Perfect. Alright, now make the holder visible again. Perfect. In the end, we also add a camera. Press the camera icon and choose a perspective of your choice. Here we also go to camera under this tag and we change the format to 1080 by 1080 pixels. And in the end, we also add a plane as background. Here you have, of course, to look that it's really behind our 3D object. And in the end, we also change directly to cycles. Here for the project later on, we change maximal samples to 500 to get a faster preview in our render view and put a check mark under denoise. And that's it for this part. Watch the next tutorial 2 weeks before release as a YouTube member. More information's in the info box or in the caption.
The materials.
Now you can download all HDRI maps and textures for the material part.
Go, go, go. Download it.
And let's move on with the tutorial. Alright, now we came to the cool part, the material part. And first we split our view in two. Here we go to viewport shading 4, and in the second window we change to shade editor. First, we create our lightning, go for it in the world mode, and here we will work with two HDRI maps. Search first for mix, then for environment texture, copy and paste it, connect it with B, search now for mapping and texture coordinates with the slot generated. That looks good. In the first one we insert our Studio HDRI map, and in the second one we insert our colorful image. Alright, under the mapping tag we can change now the rotation to get a better lighting. That are my rotation values. And we also go under strength. Here we change the value to 2. And under factor, we change the value to 0.1 to get smooth, colorful reflections later on our CD case. Alright, now we can start with the materials. Go back to the object mode and we start with our background material. And I had a little mistake. It's the reason why it's already here created. So this is my color code if you want to use it. And metallic is 1, roughness 0.3 to get the same result. Alright, the next materials we will create step by step together, of course. Select first the font, create a new material. Here we change roughness to 0.1, IOR to 5, and we work with glass materials. So we will need a transmission value of 1. Rename the material here in the top to text material. Select also the second text, insert it here inside, and it's also the same material for the sides. Perfect. The next step, we make this part invisible to see what is inside. So, and in the next step, we create the details material. Create a new material. Here we change metalness to 1, roughness to 0.2, and also the transmission value to 1. Perfect. So in the next step, we create our CD materials, and we have already created before. So go under the material tag, select the CD material. This is my color code, and roughness is 0.2, and that's it. It's the material for this inside part here and for the frame outside of the CD. So, in the next step, we will create the print on our CD. Here we choose a metallic value of 1, roughness 0.54. That's it. And for this project, I use Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, you find a lot of CD prints in the internet. Use it, guys. But I wanted to create my own. So I created a circle. I write some words and created an illustration. And after it, I exported as a PNG with transparent background. When you're ready with your image, you can simply drag and drop it here inside, like this. Connect it with base color, change strength, emission to 0.5. We want that it glow a little bit because the colors have to be stronger. And it's make a really cool effect if you work with glass materials when you have a lightning object inside of the CD case. Right, now we search for mapping and texture coordinates with the slot generated. To get the right direction, we rotate it in Z by 90 degrees, and that looks perfect. Okay, so what is wrong now? Example details. We have to select the detail part and change the position. Here we change roughness to 0.2. And now we get the result that we need. Okay, so we also have to select again the CD. It's not so simple to work with glass materials, as you can see. So here we have also put the transmission value to 1. You can see also the print under it. Okay, now it's right. Perfect, guys. So now we need the material for the holder. Create it. Change the color. This is my color code. And here I change metalness to 1 and roughness to 0.5. Perfect. And in the end, we make our cube visible again. Create a new material. Here we change IOR to 2. Transmission value also to 1 and roughness 0. And that's it. Ready with the material part. Do you want the whole project file?
You can have it.
With over 70 other files that we have already created together, guys. You can find them on my Patreon. Link is in the caption.
The animation.
Alright, now we came to the last part, the animation part. And here we will animate the camera and not the 3D object. For this we need empty. Look in the camera for our rotation values. We need 90 and 80. Insert it also in the empty. Now select the empty and the camera. Press Command P and select object to keep transform. So now we can use the Z value and we have the perfect corner to animate our 3D object. Change the animation duration to 90 frames. And let's start with the rotation value of 110. Make the background plane bigger if it's too small. Select again the empty. Insert a keyframe. Bring it to the end of the animation. And choose the value of your choice. Insert a new keyframe. Now it's animated. So maybe we can also see it better in this view. And we also want that the whole animation is linear. So we have to go to the graph editor, select some points, go now to select all. Now we have all points, go to key interpolation mode and linear. Perfect. Go back to the timeline and in the end we will insert the sparkles, like in my example here, in Blender to our animation. For this, you have to go to the compositing tag, put a check mark under use nodes and go back, change to viewport shading 4, go to compositing, search for glare and also for viewer and connect it also here with this image. Alright, and we see nothing. We have first to render one image, press F12 and now you can see it. Here we change to high and we want simple stars and threshold 1 is right, fade 1 and that's it. Now you can see that here's some sparkles. Now you can render it and the sparkles get automatically applied on your animation. And that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please consider supporting me with a like, comment or even a subscription. Thank you, Artinvaders. And we see us in the next week.